Good morning and happy Wednesday to everybody again. It's nice to see you. And today, in English and in reading, we are going to revisit the same sorts of themes, but in a slightly different way. So, in reading today, in Holes, we've got Stanley, who is settling in a little bit better. He is introduced to some other camp members during today's lesson, and he's also shown to the place where he's going to sleep. And again, I don't want to spoil what's there. I want you to have a read and see. But there's some interesting things that happen in this little bit as he starts to sort of settle in. Now, the objective for the lesson is to explain Stanley's reactions. So he's going to go through this first day of finding out and meeting people, and there's going to be lots of thoughts running through his mind. There's going to be lots of things he might like, lots of things he might not like, and you're going to have to explain, well, how does he feel about that bit? What does that make him think? Okay, and I'm going to leave you to imagine what it might be like to be Stanley in Holes today. Now, in our English lessons, we are now heading towards a big write. The big write's not going to start happening until the end of the week, but you've known all through this topic that we were going to be writing a survival guide. You have heard from other people who have survived. We've heard from Eva Hart, was the first lady that we met. We've read about Marshall, that was our model text, and we had Agnes yesterday. But for you to be able to do a survival guide, you are going to be able to pick the person that you want to write from, the perspective you want to write from. So, for example, you might choose to be a crew member. You might want to be the captain of the ship. You might want to be someone who serves in the restaurant. You might want to be someone who works in the engine room. Or you might want to be someone who's visiting with a first-class ticket, a rich family with lots of money and a really fancy suite to stay in. Or you might want to be a third-class ticket holder who's stuck right down near the bottom of the boat, who's not so rich and has a totally different time on the boat. Now, in order for you to decide what you want to do, this lesson starts off with a game. Now, it does have a link on the PowerPoint that you can click on, or you could just search for it on a phone if you want to type it in. And it's a scenario game. So it's very similar to a game we played in history, where you get to make choices, and whatever choice you make makes something happen, like cause and effect. So you click on it, you can choose what boat you want to be on. So it gives you the option of the Carpathia or the other boats, or you can be on the Titanic. You can choose who you want to be, a crew member or a passenger, and then all of the decisions you make. So for example, when you hear an alarm, do you get out of bed and go and escape or not? Or do you stay where you are? Do you go and investigate? Or do you ignore things? Do you help somebody into the lifeboat or do you not? All of these little decisions in the game might make a difference to whether you survive or not. So have a go at playing that game. Now, if you can't access the game, it shouldn't stop you being able to take part in the lesson, but I thought it would be a nice fun way to start. So you will have a chance to design your character. Have a think carefully before you make any firm decisions, because whoever you decide today, that's the person you're going to be writing as later in the week. So there is a character profile for you to complete in there. So you're going to need to think about their age, whether they're male or female, whether they're rich or poor. All of these decisions are going to be important. And remember, we had a reading lesson last week where we know the survival rates. So the richer you were, the further up the boat you were, the more chance you had of survival. So if you want a character that survives, then you want to be aiming for a first class sort of person. If you decide that you want to choose somebody who's not going to survive, then you want to choose maybe a crew member, or maybe someone in the third class who had just less chance of getting out to safety. So have fun choosing your character, but whatever you do, the character profile you make today, you need to keep safe for the next lesson, okay? Right? And if you haven't got a scrap bit of paper, you can always take a photograph of a drawing that you can do. There's all sorts of things you can do. If you've got a paper pack, you can just write on the back of the paper pack. Okay, but have fun and think carefully about your choice. Okay, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.